Internet mysteries that were finally solved.
On social media, internet sleuths shared his information, trying to learn his identity.
One final puzzle that was waiting to be solved is still waiting. Find me.
From weird photos to creepy videos, there's always something on the internet that leaves us with more questions than answers. But because...
Oh my god, the human soup video? I don't know this one. Y'all remember this? Oh, and they were like, they're making him eat people. That used to give me like nightmares when I was a kid.
leaves us with
I heard it was fake. I mean, we're about to see.
more questions than answers. But because of the hard work of thousands of online detectives, many of these internet mysteries have finally been solved. And some of these truths are crazier than anyone imagined. These are internet mysteries that were finally solved, ranked from the least to the most shocking. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The mystery of the Post-it notes. On April 15th, 2015, a man with the username R. Bradbury felt like he was losing his mind. That morning, he found a strange Post-it note in his apartment. The note had a list of chores he was supposed to do. But here's the creepy part. He didn't write it. The handwriting wasn't his, and he lived alone, so he had no idea.
What? How have I not heard of this? He was getting notes of to-do that he didn't put down.
Yeah, how it got there. He tried to brush it off, but a few days later, things got even creepier. On April 19th,
dude, that's like when I told y'all, I found like 3 like rusty crosses over the course of like 4 years at my house, and I just stopped thinking about it. They were just in the middle of the floor. They were no ones that I like knew. They were just there. It was so weird. I just stopped because it's like, what the fuck is it going to be?
Another note, this time stuck to the back of his chair. The note read, "Save your documents." That's when he started to get worried. He was convinced that someone was breaking into his house and leaving these notes for him. To catch the intruder, he set up a webcam to monitor his desk. If anyone was coming in and leaving notes, the camera would catch them in the act. Days later, he woke up to another Post-it note. This one scared him even more.
On the 28th, 9 days later, I woke up to find another Post-it note. This one saying, "Our landlord isn't letting me talk to you, but it's important we do."
R. Bradbury rushed to check the webcam footage, hoping for answers. But when he opened the computer, his heart sank. The footage was wiped from his computer.
Oh my God, I would move. 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 I would talk. Or I would just talk to the landlord. What do you mean the landlord isn't letting us speak? I wouldn't sleep, dude. You know what I would do? I would go out and buy meth. And then I would stay up for fucking 6 days and just watch the door.
Almost every door of his apartment, but this time they were all blank. Determined to solve the mystery, he started to make a list of suspects. The first on his list was his landlord. He found an old letter from his landlord and compared the writing to the Post-it notes. They looked pretty
that is smart.
similar. R. Bradbury wondered if he could press charges against his landlord for breaking in and leaving notes. So he turned to Reddit hoping to get some advice.
I mean, breaking and leaving notes, at that point, why wouldn't he just add more locks and shit to his house? Like, does he just have like a lock, no alarm, nothing? Like, I would maybe up my security at that point rather than just have a fucking video camera to tape his front door.
Bradbury posted a question on the r/legal advice subreddit, which is a place where people go to ask for legal help. His situation instantly grabbed everyone's attention. In his post, R. Bradbury explained everything that happened so far. He ended by asking what he could do legally if his landlord was leaving those notes. Maybe he could press charges or even sue his landlord, but instead of taking him seriously, most people thought he was making it up. Still, his post blew up. People became obsessed with the mystery of the Post-it notes. Most Reddit users thought he was sleepwalking and writing the notes himself without realizing it. They suggested he set up another camera to find out, but setting up another camera didn't seem like a good idea to him since his first webcam footage got wiped. Redditors combed through R. Bradbury's other posts to learn more about his situation. That's when a Reddit user named Kakerlak spotted something important. In a post on another subreddit, R. Bradbury mentioned that he slept in a narrow, windowless bedroom. This small detail helped Kakerlak put the pieces together. And the real answer was a matter of life and death. When Kakerlak noticed that R. Bradbury slept in a small windowless room, he had a hunch. The problem could have been carbon monoxide poisoning. A room with good ventilation.
What? Like he has carbon monoxide poisoning, so he's... Bro, Brady said knew it. What do you mean knew it? What do you mean knew it? Get the fuck out of here. Oh yeah, I saw that. Oh my God, I fucking... Holy shit, that was like the first thing that I thought it was. What does that make? Chat, my chat history? I bet he's dying to carbon monoxide poisoning. Okay, he's dying to carbon monoxide poisoning. So is he tripping balls right now? Or he's like writing himself notes that he's forgetting about because he's slowly fucking poisoning himself?
Ventilation allows carbon monoxide to escape outdoors, but in a poorly ventilated space like Bradbury's windowless bedroom, the gas has nowhere to go, creating a dangerous buildup of carbon monoxide. Breathing in too much carbon monoxide replaces the oxygen in the blood, causing symptoms like headaches, confusion, and memory loss. In severe cases, it can be fatal. Kakerlak asked Brad.
Wait, so he was writing notes to himself for going to sleep, breathing in a bunch of carbon monoxide, basically poisoning himself, forgetting that he wrote notes to himself, and then going on a Reddit forum, panicking that somebody was there to kill him.
Bradbury, do you get bad headaches? R. Bradbury admitted that he did. Then Kakerlak shared his theory. It might be carbon monoxide poisoning. If he was right, R. Bradbury was writing the notes to himself, but the gas was messing with his memory, making him forget that he ever wrote them. Kakerlak's suggestion got a ton of likes and comments. With so many people agreeing that carbon monoxide could be the issue, R. Bradbury decided to install a carbon monoxide detector. The moment
it just immediately starts going...
When he turned it on, the alarm went off. His apartment had a buildup of carbon monoxide that was poisoning him for weeks. But
wouldn't that kill you though? Like way before then. I thought carbon monoxide poisoning is some shit that like kills you overnight.
Still one question that needed to be answered. If no one was breaking in to leave the notes, who deleted the footage from the webcam he set up weeks earlier? When R. Bradbury checked the webcam again, he realized it was malfunctioning. There was a compatibility issue with the software, which meant the recordings weren't syncing to his computer. In other words, no one deleted his webcam footage, it simply never existed. What about the handwriting that looked like his landlord's? After taking a closer look, he realized that he made a mistake. He compared the handwriting on the post-it notes to a letter from his mother, not his landlord. The connection between the landlord and the notes was all in his head. R. Bradbury went back to Reddit and explained all the mistakes he made, effectively closing the case. The internet didn't just solve the mystery.
Well, that's crazy that he probably would have died, like at some point.
Of the post-it notes. It saved R. Bradbury's life. This next mystery also involved a man who looked like he was in trouble, and the internet went on a hunt to solve the case. The Blank Room Soup Mystery. Have you ever watched something that was both confusing and unsettling at the same time? That's how many people felt when they first saw a video called Blank Room Soup in 2014. In the 1 minute and 40-second clip, a man cries while eating a bowl of soup. Standing silently beside him are two people in bizarre costumes, gently patting his back as if trying to comfort him. Nothing in the video made sense, and viewers were desperate to solve this mystery. They had
I remember genuinely believing that they were two insane people that made him eat his family.
3 questions. Who was that man? Why was he crying? And who are the people in those strange costumes? As soon as blankroomsoup.avi went viral, internet users tried to explain the bizarre scene. Reddit forums, YouTube comments, and Discord chats exploded with ideas.
Yeah, but there was like no proof that he was eating human remains.
Others imagined something more sinister.
The original story behind the Blank Room Soup videos was that the man eating soup was actually abducted by the 2 men in black, as was his wife.
But people weren't satisfied with wild theories. They wanted real answers. Then there was a breakthrough. Someone figured out who made the costumes in the video. On October 16th, 2015, a YouTuber called Rainbot discovered 2 things about the costumes in blankroomsoup.avi. First, the costumes were created by an artist named Raymond Percy. Second, the costumes were called Ray Rays.
First thing that I found was...
I feel like these were in like a video game. or of some sorts. Like, I've seen these costumes elsewhere.
A Daily Motion account called Ray Ray TV. This account had several videos with two characters that you see in Blank Room Soup. I looked into other videos on the Daily Motion account and did some research on the given names. After looking for a little bit, a Raymond Percy came up.
Rainbot decided to contact Raymond Percy to get to the bottom of the mystery. After all, Raymond created and owned the costume, so we might know who was behind the video. When Raymond replied, his story only made things more confusing. Raymond Percy acknowledged that he created the Ray Ray costumes, but he said he had nothing to do with the Blank Room Soup video. In fact, he claimed he didn't even have the Ray Ray costumes anymore because they were stolen after he performed in LA.
When my group
Oh, that would immediately make me even more believe that they fed his wife to that guy. Oh, your costumes were stolen, and then there's a video of those costumes comforting a man eating like a weird gray fucking meat soup. Yeah, that's a person.
went back to the RV to pack our stuff and to get some food. We found that most of our Ray Ray props and costumes had been stolen.
But that wasn't the end of Raymond's story. He explained that shortly after the costumes were stolen, he received a video from an unknown email address.
A few weeks later, I got home from work, turned on my computer, and saw an email with an attachment. It was the video that everyone is now...
I would immediately turn that to the police. You make these Ray Ray costumes, they get stolen, and then you get an anonymous email of those people wearing the costumes feeding a guy like a weird soup while he's just crying.
now calling Blank Room Soup.
Everyone was disappointed that talking
What?
to Raymond Percy was a dead end. Since they didn't know who stole the costumes, they would never know who made the video. But when all hope seemed lost, people realized that Raymond's story had holes in it. At first, Percy's story seemed to explain everything.
Oh, so were they just fucking lying?
The costumes were stolen and someone else probably made the video, but some things didn't add up. For example, Raymond Percy uploaded the Blank Room Soup.avi to one of his social media accounts under the title Soup Torture. When asked why he had the video on his social media, Raymond Percy said he thought the video was interesting and decided to share it. But if someone stole the Ray Ray costumes, made a creepy video with them, and emailed it to Percy, why would he just upload the video like it was no big deal? The internet decided to go one step further in this.
Yeah, because aren't those costumes mad expensive too? Like a custom made, not just a Ray Ray costume, but something that's a full pieced suit. They're probably like fucking $500, $1,000.
Investigation by looking through the Los Angeles County police records. Turns out Raymond Percy never filed a police report for his missing costumes. It was strange that he didn't ask the police to help catch the thief. The more people thought about it, the more suspicious they became of Raymond Percy. They wondered if he made the Blank Room Soup video himself. Some even thought the video was a marketing stunt to make the Ray Ray costumes go viral. If that was the plan, it certainly succeeded. Blank Room Soup.avi racked up over 16 million views on YouTube. After Rainbot's investigation, the Ray Rays disappeared. No new Blank Room Soup videos were ever released. Raymond Percy never admitted to making the video, but the internet is convinced he was behind it. Case closed. Our next mystery is about a man who said something so bizarre, the internet came together to figure out if he was telling the truth.
I think that's a fair, it's not a definitive case closed like the carbon monoxide one, but it's fair enough to assume that that person made the videos because it did promote their own channel and their own costumes.
It's closed. Our next mystery is about a man who said something so bizarre, the internet came together to figure out if he was telling the truth. The mystery of the time traveler.
There's so many fucking people that claim to be time travelers online, though.
Thousands, someone named John Teeter made a wild claim. He said he could travel through time and even showed pictures of his time machine to prove it. It sounds ridiculous, but John was so convincing to other people that he made them wonder, could John really be from the future? The internet was determined to solve this mystery. John Teeter revealed himself to the world on November 2nd, 2000. He posted a message in a chat room called the Time Travel Institute, a place where people discuss time travel theories.
Greetings. I am a time traveler from the year 2036. I am on my way home after getting an IBM 5100 computer system from the year 1975. My time machine is a stationary mass temporal displacement unit.
I'm on my way home after getting an IBM 5100 computer system from the year 1975.
manufactured by General Electric.
John Titor explained that he was sent back to 1975 to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer. Apparently, a dangerous computer glitch was destroying the world in 2036. And this
Bro, that kind of seems possible, though. Like with AI, what, 11 years from now, some shit goes wrong, starts fucking up the world with AI or fucking computers.
family was like in the year 2000. Then John started making terrifying predictions about the future. Between 2000 and 2001, John Titor made dozens of posts explaining what would happen in the coming years. He said a civil war would break out in the US before the 2004 presidential election. He also predicted that in 2008, the US would collapse completely, and by 2015, World War III would begin.
All right, you got the first two right.
In 2015, Russia launched a nuclear strike against the major cities in the United States, China, and Europe. The United
Yo, I love it. Yo, I love when they get it dead wrong. I love when they get it dead wrong, though. It's like cool when they get it right, and you're like, oh shit, maybe this guy is from the future. And then he's like, dude, in 2015, they're just going to start nuking the piss out of each other.
United States counterattacks. The U.S. cities were destroyed along with the American federal empire. Thus, we, in the country, won.
Even though John Titor was making all these predictions, no one knew what he actually looked like. He was just a name on the internet. At first, people thought he was just a prankster, but when they began to doubt him, he supported his claims with supposed scientific facts.
Bro, and then 9/11 happened right after. He claimed this in 2000, and then 9/11 happened. And people probably were like, oh my God, this guy's fucking telling the truth. And then the housing market crash happened. And then they probably started losing their shit. 2015 rolled around. Oh.
Facts. For instance, John Titor's posts were filled with advanced concepts about quantum physics. He even explained how he was able to travel through time.
One of the first pieces of evidence he provided were pictures of his time machine, along with the manuals to go along with it.
John didn't only share photos of his time machine. He broke down how every single piece worked and what
Brett would not be this simple. I'm so sorry. It would not be that simple. It would not have 9 compartments that you could just fucking draw an arrow to.
John didn't only share photos of his time machine. He broke down how every single piece worked and what each piece did. John's detailed stories and scientific explanations convinced thousands that he was a time traveler. The name John Titor became a global sensation. Characters named John Titor appeared in animes like Steins Gate and games like Reverse 1999. Soon he wasn't just a time traveler, he was a celebrity. John had fans who begged him to show his real face. Then, at the peak of his fame, something happened that made everyone suspect John was a fraud. Remember, one of the things John Titor predicted was that there would be a civil war in the US before the 2004 election. But when 2004 passed without any conflict, people began to wonder if John was just making
Yeah, it wasn't civil war, but you could say there was like a civil unrest.
things up. As doubts grew, people went back to re-examine all his other posts. And this time, they found a ton of problems. John's posts contained a bunch of scientific theories that sounded legit to the average person. However, when real scientists examined them, they realized that many of his concepts didn't hold up scientifically. It was just gibberish. When John talked about his time machine, he gave just enough details to sound impressive, but never actually explained how the machine traveled through time. Remember, John Titor was also talking about the IBM 5100, claiming this old school computer was the key to saving the future. But computer experts on Reddit debunked that idea. They said the IBM 5100 wasn't powerful enough to do everything John said it could. Almost everything John Titor ever said was being debunked. There was one last question. If John Titor wasn't a time traveler, who was he?
Damn, imagine if he was like, the key to saving the world is the 1660 Super, the GPU of the fucking century. That would have been believable. If he had just called out like the most just moderately priced, highest power GPU.
Attention of major TV studios in Italy. They decided to produce a documentary on the mystery titled Voyager. The studio hired a private investigator to uncover who John Titor really was. Following clues from the internet, the investigator tracked Titor's posts to an IP address in Kissimmee.
Kissimmee, Florida.
Florida.
I've been there before.
That's where things got interesting. It turned out there was a company called the John Teeter Foundation, which had its headquarters in the same city. Another internet investigator, John Houston, posted a lengthy expose of John Teeter on his blog, Hoax Hunter. He accused a man named Larry Haber for being behind the John Teeter story. Larry Haber was an internet lawyer and, according to rumors, the CEO of the John Teeter Foundation. Digging deeper, the private investigator discovered that Larry had a brother, John Rick Haber, who was a computer scientist. This new information opened up a door to a whole new theory, that John Teeter was a fictional character created by Larry and John Rick Haber. With Larry's experience in entertainment and John Rick's knowledge of scientific theories, they seemed like the perfect team to create a convincing time traveler character. Finally, in 2008...
Bro, that's so cool, though, that two people could just do that. They could just make a fake person that claims to be from the future, and you could probably convince 500,000 people that everything that you've said is true.
It had nothing to do with the brothers. Joseph Matheny, a multimedia artist, stepped forward to reveal that John Teeter was just a fictional character. He explained that he previously worked as a consultant for the unnamed individuals responsible for the legend. According to Matheny, the whole John Teeter thing was a gimmick created to promote an alternate reality game that was being developed at the time. The idea was simple: get people hooked on a mysterious story, then lead them into the game. But things didn't go as planned.
It was just an ad for Detroit Become Human.
The game was scrapped before it could launch. But by then, the story of John Teeter accidentally became an internet legend. No one knows for sure if he was telling the truth, but so far, that seems to be the most likely explanation. Our next mystery also deals with something beyond the ordinary, something supernatural. The mystery of the back rooms.
Wait, like the back rooms? Oh, I love these videos. Oh, they're saying where the original image is taken.
In May 2019, this picture was posted on 4chan and people couldn't...
They solved this one. They've solved all of them. That's the title of the video.
Stop talking about it. The image showed a dimly lit room with yellowing wallpaper and fluorescent lights. Yet, something about the photo felt off. Some said...
Honestly, though, I think the back rooms... people have done a million analyses on why backrooms-esque, liminal spaces are so scary. I think this one hits harder than anything, though, because like everybody's grandma has like a weird wallpaper that's like this. Like this is some like 1950s, 1960s shit where they like plaster it up on their ceiling or their wall and leave it there. And so it feels like that weird hominess, but also coupled with the hospital lighting that just makes it fucking so uncomfortable.
Just found it oddly comforting. But there was one question on everyone's mind. Where was this room from? The search for the room's origin turned into a mystery that lasted for years. The picture of this mysterious room spread throughout the internet, and soon it was given a name: the back rooms. People said it was a strange dimension you might glitch into if you slipped out of reality.
It has this like dingy 90s looking feel to it. Now this is kind of what I imagine the hellish, the worst of retirement homes is probably what this will look like. You can almost...
I wouldn't even say the worst of retirement homes. I would say that this more looks like... maybe the worst of retirement homes in like the 80s or 90s, yeah, but not today. Retirement homes today have the hospital lighting, but they're just like white walls, very like cushy brown couches, and a lemonade stand. I'm imagining the last time I went into an old person home, because I used to volunteer at one for, what is it? Not Interact. I think it's called Interact. What is that club called? Every fucking high school has it, where you just like go and volunteer and do shit. Don't even say W. Joe, chat, because I would literally go there, talk to old people for like 5 minutes, drink lemonade, and then leave. It was some bullshit. I think it is Interact or Key Club. I don't know. Either way, we would go and you would like play games with the old people. Dude, they were so unhappy. And I don't know the level of old person home it was, because there's ones that are really high quality where they really take care of the people and like, have activities planned for them and keep them entertained and the vibes are good. And then there's ones where it's like just like nightmare fuel, dude. Like they don't fucking care about them. They're just like rotting in their room alone. It was a weird experience because I remember when we would go to the old person home, for the first few times we would go, you would interact. This is me getting so off topic. But anyways, it didn't look like the back rooms. But when we would go, the first few times we were there, you would pull up and you would walk through and it would be this whole living room area that was like basically like 5 living rooms combined. And there would be 10, 20 old people just walking around, some playing checkers, people playing chess, watching TV, just fucking sitting there. There would be some old people like this. That was, I don't know, that was an experience because I was probably like, I don't know. Because I did it in middle school and high school, but the first time I went, I was probably like 10, 11, and that was fucking, I don't know, that scared me.
Real-life location of the original image, now called Level 0. Theories poured in. Some thought it was an abandoned office. Others suggested a defunct department store. People found places that looked similar to Level 0, but none were an exact match.
The closest to Level 0. This is what the real backrooms looked like. This is what the location I found looked like. It isn't completely similar, but how is this real? The backrooms are real. It literally looks like a green screen right now.
Yeah, where the fuck is that Gavin found that?
It seemed like the mystery would never be solved. Then, one Twitter post led to a breakthrough. In May 2019, someone tweeted that they found the location of the infamous Level 0 backroom. They even posted a link to prove it. The link led to a website of an American retail company called Hobbytown. One picture on the website matched the backroom's image exactly. This picture. This was it. The backroom Level 0 was a Hobbytown store in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. This meant the mystery was solved.
Huh. Typical Wisconsin.
Fortunately, nobody paid attention to this tweet. It got buried under new posts and people continued searching for the location, not knowing it was already found. Then, 5 years later, in 2024, a group of internet detectives came up with a new strategy. They decided to track down the original Backrooms image by its file name. They found an old 4chan thread with the photo and noticed the file name. Using that file name, they searched archived forums and social media until they stumbled upon the tweet with the link. They clicked the link and there it was, the backroom Level 0. The creepy room wasn't a doorway to another dimension. It was just an old, forgotten Hobbytown store. The news spread online that the mysterious
it was a store.
Level 0 was found, but anyone hoping to visit the location would be disappointed.
It probably got destroyed.
Earlier, the room was renovated into an RC car racetrack.
Boo! Wait, actually, that's pretty sick. They have RC car racetrack arenas.
This next mystery started as a fun game, but over time, it became an obsession for thousands of people around the world. The mystery of Satoshi. Can you find someone if all you had was their picture and their first name? That's a mystery that took 14...
Wow! Chat, you get $10 million. You have 30 days. I hand you a photo of a random person and just their first name. You have to go find them in person. Do you think you find them? I think first plan of action is go on social media, see if anybody knows them. But let's say you're not allowed to do that. I think that's cheating because there's going to be like, oh, I'll pay for somebody 10 grand if they know who this person is. I think you can't use social media. I don't think you would be able to find them. 8 billion people, you're going to like fly to you're going to have to find their location, where their general vicinity is, and then you're going to have to fucking fly there and find them.
Years to solve. In 2005, a British game company launched a unique game called Perplex City. It came with 256 puzzle cards, each card containing a different challenge for players to solve. But the last card in the deck, number 256, was unlike any other. This card showed a photo of a man and a Japanese phrase that translated to "find me." Beneath it was a single clue. My name is Satoshi, with nothing more than name.
Is that the guy that made the puzzle?
Supposed to track this man down. What started as a simple puzzle turned into an obsession for thousands of people online. The Satoshi card was called Billion to One because players needed to find one person out of 1 billion on the planet. It wasn't going to be easy.
One final puzzle.
Actually, there's 8 billion people.
That was waiting to be solved is still waiting. 1 billion to 1. Find me.
In the first months of the hunt for
Not back then. Yes, back then, you fuck. The last time 1 billion people were on the planet was in the fucking 1800s.
Satoshi, the online community managed to uncover 3 facts about the mysterious man. Satoshi agreed to be part of the game. He wasn't some random person, he was in on it. Satoshi also wouldn't respond unless contacted directly. Even if he saw the forums or websites, he would stay silent. Lastly, Satoshi had a secret password given to him by the game developers, and he would reveal it to whoever found him. These clues only deepened the mystery, making the hunt even more exciting. Before long, the search for Satoshi exploded beyond the game, pulling people in from all over the internet. To keep track of the investigation, Reddit communities like r/findsatoshi were created to compile clues. One of the first things people did was reverse searching Satoshi's photo online, but nothing turned up. This was back in 2005, so the internet wasn't as advanced as it is today. Others focused on the background of his picture. They figured out the background.
Oh yeah, fucking Rainbolt would have found that fucking place in 10 minutes. Hey Rainbolt, here's an image of a dude. Can you find where this is? Yeah, this is the exact street he's on.
Of his picture. They figured out the background was Kaysersberg, a small town in France. Players flew out to Kaysersberg thinking there would be a clue there, but it was just a dead end. Internet users reached out to anyone who even—
Somebody paid to go to France to see if there was a fucking clue. Oh my god.
Hundreds of potential leads were contacted, yet none matched the man in the photo. For 13 years, no one knew who Satoshi really was, and many gave up. Then, one YouTuber picked up the case and came one step closer to solving it. In February 2020, the YouTube channel Inside a Mind posted a video called Find This Man, diving into the mystery of Satoshi. The video exploded in popularity, racking up over 1 million views. But more importantly, it revived the search for Satoshi, introducing the puzzle to a new generation of internet users. With new tools like advanced facial recognition software and social media platforms, the hunt was back on. Thousands of people scoured the web for any trace of Satoshi. Then, in late 2020, the breakthrough everyone was waiting for was finally here. On December 26, 2020, 10 months after Inside a Mind's viral video, a Reddit user posted on the Find Satoshi subreddit. The title read, "Found someone similar looking on a Japanese webpage." Using facial recognition technology, the Reddit user found someone who looked like Satoshi in a photo on a Japanese company's website. On the
the guy holding the beer?
far right of the group photo was—
Bro, but then you have to go actually out and find him? Like, that's impossible.
a man holding a beer, a man who looked exactly like Satoshi. Reddit users immediately dove deeper. Another photo of the same man appeared on the company's website, this time in a professional headshot. Users translated the webpage and discovered the man was an executive at a Japanese metal company. The community went into full—
How did they pick him to be the guy for this fucking puzzle?
investigation mode, comparing every detail of the two faces. They layered Satoshi's original photo over the executives, analyzing moles, beauty marks, and other facial features. The evidence lined up perfectly. This man was almost—
I don't think I'd be able to put this much effort into this shit, dude. Like, it's so cool somebody has the interest in this, but for them to literally spend probably months trying to find just another image of this Satoshi guy so they could fucking cross-reference the images, see where he works, and then figure out where he is.
certainly Satoshi. After 15 years of searching, Laura Hall, the founder of the Find Satoshi website, finally contacted him, and this was his reply. "Hello, thank you for contacting me. You said you've been looking for the guy named Satoshi. I am Satoshi. Yes, I am Satoshi, who you've been looking for." Satoshi said that he completely forgotten about the game since it's been so long, and
how long has it been?
That he's just an ordinary guy that lives in Japan. He was shocked that people searched for him for 15—
That's so cool. 15 years? Oh my god. Bro, somebody said pre-watch. It's not even pre-watch. That's what I was saying would happen, dude. You're gonna fucking forget about it. You're gonna be like, oh, I was a part of this game.
But felt good knowing his photo made an impact on thousands of people. This next mystery was also about a missing person.
So he didn't even know people were trying to look for him.
Only this time, the person everyone was searching for wasn't alive. The mystery of the nameless victim. On June 26th—
That's such a cool thing to know, like, to be a part of that game, literally forget about it, and some random dude from across the world's just like, I finally found you.
1995, police in Southern Virginia responded to a car crash. 2 victims were found, but one was so badly injured he couldn't be identified. The identified man was labeled a John Doe, meaning authorities didn't know who he was and couldn't contact his family. But there was one clue about his identity. In his pocket, they found 2 tickets to a Grateful Dead concert. The Grateful Dead was an American rock band that was really popular in the 80s and 90s. Because of this, people nicknamed him Grateful Doe, combining the band's name with the term John Doe. For 20 years, Grateful Doe's identity remained a mystery. No leads, no answers, and no family came forward. The case went cold. Then the internet got...
That's so sad, though, because that means his family... He either didn't have a big family or just they didn't care. For nobody to come forth when he died...
involved, and everything changed. On January 2nd, 2015, someone posted about Grateful Doe on the social media site Imgur.
And it's weird because he had 2 tickets. So you would assume that he was going with somebody else.
The post contained everything the police knew about Grateful Doe. Most importantly, it asked the internet to help uncover his true identity. This post slowly began to spread across the internet. At first, all people talked about was the facial reconstruction pictures because the technology back then made the computer-generated face look kind of creepy. The post gained so much interest that it eventually turned into a community of its own. Facebook pages were made to look for him, and a subreddit called r/Grateful Doe began recruiting members.
On social media, internet sleuths shared his information, trying to learn his identity.
Then they got their first big lead. Just hours after the initial post...
Dude, I always find that shit creepy when they have like actual images, like AI images of George Washington. Like that looks creepy just because of the lack of technology for like facial reconstruction. But if you have like an image of George Washington today, this is what he would look like if he was like a modern politician. Like, I don't know, that looks so... Like, I imagine George Washington, and I literally picture the painting of the guy, and then you try to actually envision, like, wait, he was a real person that looked like a human, not like a painting. And then you fucking look at that, and you're like, ugh. Oh, he looks kind of scary.
Post went live. The poster received a message from someone claiming Grateful Doe was his college roommate from Illinois. This person said Grateful Doe's real name was Jason Callahan, a young man who went missing 20 years ago. He also mentioned Jason was a big Grateful Dead fan, just like the man in the crash.
Oh, and he went missing, so he didn't know if his friend was dead.
Micah Singleton lives in Conway and recognized the pictures of Jason on Facebook. He says they used to hang out along Ocean Boulevard. He, too, hasn't seen him since 1993 or 94.
As the investigation continued, another friend of
so it's just like assumed that he died.
Jason's came forward with photographs. When Jason's photos were compared to Grateful Doe's face, the resemblance was striking. On January 10th, 2015,
I would not say the resemblance is striking. I would say that they look... I guess if you showed me these 2 images, I would not say they're the same person. I would say this looks more like a claymation figurine.
Compared to Grateful Doe's face, the resemblance was striking. On January 10th, 2015, just 1 week after the Grateful Doe post started blowing up, Jason's mom came forward. She made a Facebook post confirming that the man in the photos was her long-lost...
This is my son, Jason Callahan from Myrtle Beach. I've been looking for him all this time. Bro, so they didn't know he died. It's not that nobody came forth. They just had no idea. My other son saw this Facebook page after all the years for praying for him just to call me or come home.
Lost son, Jason Callahan. She hadn't seen or heard from him since June 1995, the same time as the crash. After Jason's mom came forward, law enforcement collected DNA samples to match the remains of Grateful Doe. Finally, on December 8th, 2000...
I mean, I would have just assumed he was dead. If you're a parent, how long does your kid have to be missing for you to guess that they're dead? Like, bro, like a year. Like 1 year.
2015, nearly 20 years after the car crash, DNA testing confirmed that Grateful Doe was indeed Jason Callahan. Solving the Grateful Doe mystery gave Jason's family and friends the closure they needed. Inspired by the success, the Grateful Doe subreddit...
That's so sad, though. They just thought that he may still be alive, and the whole time he was gone.
Reddit shifted its focus to uncovering the identities of other missing people. As of 2024, they've identified dozens of people, bringing closure to families from all around the world. These stories show us how incredible the internet can be when people use it for good. It's honestly unfortunate that so many people use it to do terrible things. But my request for you is to always think about how your actions affect others online, because you might just change someone's life. And I hope it's for the better. Visual Venture.
Dude, I fucking love Visual Venture videos, man. He needs to be a bigger YouTuber. I mean, he gets mad views, obviously, but still. He just makes some banger videos.